If you're a dog owner in Hamilton Township, you know that having a well-behaved dog can make all the difference. So we're going to walk through everything you need to know to find the right trainer so you can feel really confident about your choice. And isn't that the truth? Just imagine taking a nice, calm walk through Veterans Park, or maybe you're navigating the busy shopping plazas over on Route 33, and there's no pulling or lunging. The right kind of training really does turn those potentially stressful moments into something you can both actually enjoy. You know, a really good trainer in our area gets what makes Hamilton unique. They understand the difference between practicing on a quiet suburban street versus trying to keep your dog's focus during a busy community event. That local knowledge, it's a huge piece of the puzzle for your dog's success. Okay, so before you even start searching, it really helps to get a handle on what modern, effective dog training is all about. This way, you'll know exactly what to look for and what questions to ask to find a real pro. Really, the heart of modern training is something called positive reinforcement. It's a science-backed method that uses rewards, like treats or praise, to encourage your dog to want to do the right thing. It builds a fantastic bond based on trust, and honestly, just makes learning fun for everybody. You're probably going to see a bunch of letters after a trainer's name, and it can be a little confusing. Credentials like CPDTK or KPACTP are a great sign. They show the trainer is serious about their education and uses up-to-date methods. Now, if you're dealing with tougher issues, like serious anxiety or aggression, you want to look for more specialized credentials, something like a CBCCK or an IABCC-DBC. And here's something to be really clear on. You want to steer clear of any methods that use fear or pain. These approaches are not only old school, they can actually backfire, creating new problems, adding stress for your dog, and damaging that relationship you're working so hard to build. So once you're comfortable with the training philosophy, the next thing is to figure out which program style is the best fit for your goals, your dog's personality, and of course, your budget. Let's break down what's usually out there. You've basically got a few common choices. Group classes? They're amazing for socialization and teaching your dog to listen even when there are other dogs and people around. Private lessons, on the other hand, give you that focused one-on-one time to tackle issues that are specific to your home. And then there's board and train, which is a much more intensive option for a big head start on skills. Let's talk about cost. This gives you a pretty good snapshot of what to expect here in the Mercer County area. A typical 6-week group class could be a couple $100, while a single private lesson will probably be somewhere between $100 and $180. Here's a little tip. Always ask if they offer package deals, because that can often save you some money in the long run. All right, so you've found a few trainers that seem promising. Now it's time to actually talk to them. This next part is basically your cheat sheet to make sure that first conversation is productive. Think of this as your interview guide. You want to hear them talk about positive reinforcement. Ask them how they keep up with the latest in training science. A good trainer won't just give you a cookie-cutter plan. They'll tailor it specifically to your dog. And if you're dealing with serious behavior stuff, making sure they're willing to work with your vet is a huge green flag. You know, good training and being a good neighbor go hand in hand. So let's quickly go over some of the key local rules and a few awesome spots around town where you can practice all your new skills. 6 feet. Remember that number. That's the longest your leash can be in public places here in Hamilton Township. And honestly, once you've trained a nice loose leash walk, following this rule is a breeze. So besides that 6-foot leash rule, the main things to know are pretty simple. A current rabies vaccine is required by the state. Good news is you don't need a separate Hamilton dog license. That state rabies tag is all you need. And it's worth noting that training can definitely help with things like excessive barking, which can be a noise issue. So where can you go to practice? The dog run at Veterans Park is fantastic. It's fenced in, so it's a safe place to work on recall. For something calmer to practice polite walking, the pads at Cyan Gardens are just beautiful. And if you want a real-world test, Mercer County Park has tons of trails with joggers, bikes, and all sorts of distractions to help proof your dog's skills. When it comes down to it, a confident, well-behaved dog just makes life better. It makes those quiet walks in Cyan Gardens more peaceful, it makes relaxing at home easier, and it makes having friends and family over way less stressful. The right training is really an investment in that life. Good luck on your training journey.